going to show you today not only how to survive this bull run, but also how I'm making millions of dollars dealing XRP during this bull run and how I'm helping a whole community do the same. For you guys, I'm going to go over everything from how to think about trading to real trading strategies and steps you can take to start making good money like I am. Things are going well for me and will keep going up. All of that being said, I guess the first thing I should talk about is mindset, right? What I'm going to tell you today is a trading method that works for me. If you have one too, you can't go off track. You really can't get upset. If you trade, you can't make hasty choices because you will lose money as soon as you start acting emotionally instead of sensibly. You'll lose cash. I know this from personal experience. Crypto trade has been going on for a long time, and I had to learn this the hard way. I've lost millions of dollars in earnings because I was too quick to sell or too quick to buy at times. I had chances to buy Bitcoin in its very early days, but I didn't because I was scared and emotional. Now, if I had bought Bitcoin back when I was when each coin was worth less than $100, 0 cents, I would have become very rich, maybe even a billionaire, okay? I know that's one of the worst things I've ever done, but I can't live my life that way. I can only make good decisions today. I shouldn't let my feelings or fears affect my decisions. Instead, I should use logic and facts to make sure I'm making the right one. When I first tried to buy Bitcoin, I should have done that, but I was afraid and stopped instead. If I had, I would have done really well. There have been many times in my crypto trading career when I know I would have made a lot more money if I hadn't let my emotions get in the way. When people FOMO, they buy at bad times, or when they FUD, they sell at bad times. You may choose either way. Following this, make sure you have the right frame of mind. Do not show your feelings. Take a deep breath if you feel like you're about to worry, be afraid, or get too excited. Don't trade. That's when you'll almost certainly mess up. We'll talk about a few of the reasons why that is. But I'd like to talk a little more about planning and the tools you can use to make sure you're making smart decisions. I will show you that these tools really do work very well. The stochastic RSI is what you see here at the bottom, where my mouse is. This is a great tool, but you should only use it for one day at a time. That's where it's most correct out. There are two lines on the stochastic RSI. There's a blue and orange line on it. This is a very good sign that you should buy when these lines cross, which happens when it's below the bottom middle line. Now, when it's above this line up here, as you can see over here, and there's a crossing, it means it's definitely a good time to sell. Let me show you what I mean. In this case, you can see that XRP was worth about 248 right here at this intersection. Okay, that's 248. Then not long after that, it went even lower at this intersection. It looks like XRP was around 199. Now, the most important kind of crossing is one where the blue line goes over the orange line. If you look at the chart and see that the orange and blue lines cross with the blue line rising above the orange, that means you should buy. Okay, that means you could have sold for about $251.00 if you had bought right here at the low of $199.00 where it did cross, and then sold right here not long after, right? That's a gain of at least 30% in a very short time, right? And if you use leverage, like 5x leverage, which is what I do, you can turn that 30% gain into 150% gain. In this way, it's easy to see how you can start a trade on, say, December 31 and sell here on January 4. Hold on to that for 4 days, and you can make about 150% in that time. We've done this kind of thing over and over again. I've been able to open and close trades at very specific times, like back in November right here, and sometimes even make 200% on them. And you can see over here that chances like this come up all the time. One example would be if you bought right here when the lines met at the low of 234, then you sold over here when the price was at its highest point, which was 276. And yes, that is once again a great chance, 234 to 276. That's about a 30-cent rise. That's clearly a pretty good amount of money you can make there. Again, you can see on the bottom that we were oversold when we were at 212 or 195 the day before, and then just a couple of days later, we hit a high of $3.00. That means if you bought at 195 and sold for close to $3, you made money. In fact, you would have made, crazy amounts of money again by hundreds of percentage points. These are the exact things that my Discord group always does. I wish my trade history would show all the way back to the beginning, but it only does for the last couple of weeks because they can't keep track of all that information. However, you can see that I'm buying a lot when we're oversold. That being said, this isn't the only tool I use. It's clear that this one works really well. It is very accurate to use the stochastic RSI. The Bollinger Bands are another tool that I use all the time. This one can be used for many things. There's a good chance that it shows exactly when you'll see a fix. This one works much better with shorter time frames. This is Rashad's Fibonacci Bollinger Bands. The person who made this tool is really cool. You can get the resistance and support lines from this tool. A resistance line is simply a line that shows where there is a lot of selling pressure. A support line tells you that there is a lot of buying pressure, and backing along that line, there is support in the green line and resistance in the red line. As you can see, every time we touch this red line, there are big sell-offs right after. Right now, as we touch that line, there are huge sell-offs, which is one example. We have huge sell-offs above the line right now. We're getting close to big sales, right? This always seems to happen. We've reached the end of the line. Huge sales. Sell-off, sell-off, sell-offs right here, yes? Furthermore, it is a very accurate tool that basically just looks at the whole market to see how many open buy and sell orders there are, as well as how many people have limit orders on what prices. It then tells you things like, hey, let's sell if we're anywhere near this resistance line, and now might be a good time to buy if we get close to this bottom support line. We've seen again that once we touch this support line, prices move very quickly, right? As an example, we've gone to this support line many times and then quickly moved to this resistance line because a lot of people buy and the trend keeps going. Remember that if you're ever not sure if it's a good time to buy or sell, you can also look at the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands and compare them to the stochastic RSI, just like I did here. That should help you out a lot. Again, for the stochastic RSI, make sure you're on the 1-day time frame. For the Bollinger Bands, keep it on the 15-minute time frame. Before I go any further, I want to say that this plan has worked really well for me and has been used for a while now. You know it doesn't lie, right? The Bollinger Bands and the stochastic RSI use real-time data and analysis to show you how the market is doing right now. How many people are getting it? How many people have things to sell? Is it true that we're seeing large buy and sell orders from institutions? That's the great thing about cryptocurrency, guys. It's actually see-through. We have a huge advantage over the stock market in this area because it trades after business hours when companies can totally change the markets. Crypto is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and everything is recorded.